Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Fans of the Waifu rejoice. We are doing the SEEAUDIO x TANGZU Shimin Li Encounter Edition today. And there you've got your girl, Rinko, with the purple and the blue different colored eyes. And there's Shimin Li, the dragon. That's cute. Kind of like Sunny in Odessa, right? Inside joke, mostly. Danny, we still got to get that meeting set up between the two. Odessa's, she's kind of looking forward to that. Anywho, this is a lovely looking box and an equally lovely unboxing experience, considering this set is a mere $49. Look at that. Based on looks of, the packaging, I would not have been surprised if this were over $100. Packaging. Inside, the IMs are there. Tips down here. I'm actually utilizing one medium and one large of the balanced ear tips. Now, I think they might have had these backwards because the base ear tips are wider bore and the balanced ear tips are narrower bore. I think that's back-ass words, but I'm not entirely sure. What I can tell you is I prefer the narrow bore tips on this set, and we will get into why. But anyway, nice. The case, sort of another, I would say, strong point of the set because it feels like it's real leather, actually. I don't know if you can get vegan leather, aka pleather, or whatever you call it these days, to be this soft, because it is super soft. And because of that, obviously, there's only protection from dust with this case, not from crush or water or anything like that. So keep that in mind. But it is definitely pocketable, so it's got that going for it. I really like this case. Like, if I'm gonna have a pocketable case, this is what I want, because it won't feel like a big, huge thing in my pants. I already have one of those. It's called a cell phone. Gotcha. Anywho, we got this really cool, like, very fun textured cable. It matches the IMs very well. It is a 2-pin 3.5 termination, and really just fine. Like, I don't see a need to cable swap. I did throw the TripleWin Zoe, not Zoni, Zoe cable on these for a little 4.4 action, and it seemed to basically just get them louder quicker. I don't necessarily think it had any major impact on the sound quality or dynamics of the set overall. So not a necessary thing. These are nice tips, by the way. Ugh. Yeah. I would say definitely on the nicer side of included tips. I've seen a lot worse, I'll tell you that. That's for sure. So yeah, you could keep the tips if you want to go with those. They've got obviously narrow and wider bore. The IMs themselves, this color is awesome, and the paint is baked on, so you won't have to worry necessarily about chipping or wear or anything like that. This should hold up over time extraordinarily well, and I've had them since I think October. Yeah, that's when I was in the buying frenzy that lasted for like a solid 2 months. End of October, I think I picked these up. They were released 1 year ago, March 10th of 2023. And I think they got a little, they got a little love when they first came out for design, because the design is amazing. If you can see, that's like dragon scale on the sides here. And because they're durable, as far as the finish goes. The nozzles are long-ish. I mean, alright, so not the nozzle itself, but the shape leading up to it. So these fit extraordinarily comfortably in your ear. Very, very well designed ergonomically. You don't even feel them after about 5 minutes. If you got the right tip on, obviously, for your ear canal shape and your preference. They go bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, just really nice in the ergonomics. Technical specifications. Driver spec. A 10 millimeter dynamic dryer. Nope, it's not a hair dryer or a clothes dryer. It's a driver, 10 millimeter dynamic driver. We missed a V there. That's okay. That's forgivable. Sensitivity is 111 decibels, and the resistance is 20 ohms. Frequency response from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. And 5N OFC oxygen-free copper wire. Pretty standard stuff. 10 millimeter dynamic driver. I mean, it is always like a good start because it gives you continuity in the frequency response. So as long as it's a decent driver and it's well tuned, you're starting off in a pretty good spot with that. So I've found anyway. Let's see. So about the set, how do we like the sound? How does it perform? Because everything else is in line, like everything else is nice for the price, for $50. But that puts it squarely in the range of some other sets that I've reviewed recently, and you know, things like Zero Red and the regular Zero and this, that. I mean, it's a competitive price bracket. That $50 range right now is definitely, it's hot. It's like, I think 50 to 100 right now is definitely where things are happening the most. Now, yes, there have been some good sub $50 sets released, a few of which I've reviewed, and I think that's awesome. Even if you get below 25 and find something halfway decent or better than halfway decent, that's a great thing for consumers and for the community. Not everybody has $600 to blow on a set. I think most of us don't. So it's good to have the options. Right at 50, yeah, it's definitely a good value IEM. It's a different tuning than I typically like. So my only other experience with SEEAUDIO, because I like the TANGZU sets that I have. I like the Waner. It's a little bit thin and bright, but it's good for $20 or so. And I like the Voodoo Verse 1 because it's just like a great all-rounder. Very good performing IEM for its price at $90. These guys, I think, lean more towards the SEEAUDIO sound signature. There's a little SEEAUDIO on the shell. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it'll probably get blurry if I bring it too close. So that's SEEAUDIO on that side. It's TANGZU on the other side. So they lean towards that SEEAUDIO tuning that I was definitely not a fan of on the Yume Ultra. That thing was just such a huge disappointment to me because it was tuned mid, upper mid treble, like tuned to showcase that, but it just had no bass, or at least not enough bass to balance that out. Plus it wasn't super smooth either, and I think if you're paying $220, shit better be polished, man. It's, you know, detailed is one thing, polished with details, that's what I expect that if I get over $200. Really over 150, because there's a lot of sets that are like that. Actually, I would say the upper mids and the treble on the Encounter it's probably better tuned than the Yume Ultra was. It also might have to do with the fact that there actually is bass involved here. It's not a bass headset, not even close. The bass is very controlled and very polite and not an area of focus. It is there when it should be, but it's not a standout feature of this set. I would say the standout feature of this set are the smooth mids, upper mids, and treble, and upper treble even. Like it's a very smooth sounding set. It's just that's where the focus is, and that's not like typically what I focus on. You know, with the IEMs that I absolutely love and adore, they have more bass than these, and they're more dynamic than these. This is a very like polite set, I would say. No hard edges, no real problem with distortion until you get into music with distortion. So they don't play my metal at all. At least not well. Yeah, sound still comes out of them, but not sound that I particularly want to listen to. But as far as anything up to that point, so like your alt rock and your straight rock, like those kinds of songs, that those genres sound very, very good. As does pop, as does R&B and hip hop, and anything except for the heaviest, most intense rap songs. Like anything that's got a huge amount of sub bass focus, you're going to be missing a bit. It does have some sub bass extension, but not a ton, not a satisfying amount. If EDM or hip hop and rap, or in my case metal, is your preferred genre, they're not going to do it for you. Just plain and simple, they won't. But if you like pop, if you like K-pop, if you, especially where they really, really performed well for my ears, female vocals were fantastic on them. Very, very clean, very natural, and very detailed. And acoustic music, like jazz, like classical, they were really, really nice to listen to. Like, just that seems to be the strength. So that's what I would call it. I would call it a set that's more geared towards pop, female vocals, classical music, jazz. If that's your jam, if those are your jams, this would be a really good set for you for $50, because I couldn't find one thing wrong with them in those particular genres. Yeah, I mean, is it the most exciting set that I've ever heard? No, it's not. Like I said, it's more on the polite and smooth end of things than the dynamic and exciting end of things. That being said, the build quality is excellent. The weight, there's good heft without being too heavy. You can sit on those suckers and they won't bust open, that's for sure. Probably drop them, like, be more worried about what they land on than the IMs themselves in that case. Cable is of good quality. It's got, kind of a little bit of a tacky texture to it, but not bad. It doesn't tangle easily, and it comes untangled very easily. Good selection of tips, good cable, good case, solid build, good sound. For $50, you could do a lot worse. For $50, maybe if you want more dynamics, you'd go with the Zero Red, something along those lines. But if you want something that's just a little bit more mellow, something that does kind of allow, it sort of fades into the background if you turn it down a little bit, you just want to like have it on and still be able to concentrate on other stuff, yeah, that's a good set for that too. Studying, working, whatnot. I'd recommend these. Sleeping, sure, comfy enough to go to bed with and drift off to dreamland listening to your favorite songs. Yeah, I would do that. I could do that. I have a 5-year-old, so I'm not doing that, but yeah, I could do that. I think that's it. I think this gets a recommend. It gets a Bangs Audio recommend. Not my top recommend. I feel like there are more exciting sets in that price range or slightly above. But for what it is and what it does, it's solid. For me, I look for a little more note weight. I look for a little bit more dynamic sound. But they are agile, they're light on their feet, and they do really, really well with a lot of different genres. Just not metal, just not EDM, just not anything with a lot of distortion in the instruments, because it just kind of bottoms out. But still a really nice set. So that's it. Surprise, surprise. I was going to take a few days or even a week off, but the problem is there's too many things coming. Things that have been ordered like weeks ago are finally making it, and then some other sets that are being lent to me by a friend and fellow audio enthusiast. We're sort of doing an exchange program of sorts. If you can find somebody like that who you can trust, it allows you to try other sets out that you may not even think about, or it's going to save you from buying something and returning it if you don't like it. So if you find something you love, you order it for yourself. it's kind of cool. So I really appreciate this person doing that for me and with me. It's going to help the channel with content and everything else. So love the audio enthusiast community. I think there are a lot of good people, like way more good people than not, and I'm happy to be a part of it, and I hope I'm being helpful as usual. I love you guys. Be well, stay well, be careful. It's a crazy world out there. For now, nothing but peace to you, and we'll see you.